I was at the library yesterday checking out the book Great Expectations, which if you watched my last video, you know is on my September TBR. And right next to it was a book. And I was so excited because I didn't know this book existed. So I just had to take it out, and that book is the Sherlock Holmes book. Emily here from Little Blue Book, and today I am filming, as you can tell by the title, my favorite TV show series. So let's get into it. Okay, so when I structure my TV watching, I kind of have level 1 favorite shows, which are shows that I am really obsessed with. And then level 2 shows, which I enjoy. Some of them I've kind of finished. Like, I'm more of a casual watcher when it comes to them. And then I just have like an out category, which has one of the shows I do still, like, I follow. Like, I watch with episode, every new episode of the week. But it's kind of just like, I enjoy it. I'm not like super obsessed about the show, if that makes any sense. So, the shows that would be in my level 1 are Sherlock, Doctor Who, and Once Upon a Time. So, Sherlock I was introduced to... Actually, okay, a friend mentioned it once, and I was like, Sherlock, like, I'm gonna watch that. And then one day I was just flipping through Netflix, looking for something good to watch. And I was like, hey, Sherlock's here. And I completely forgotten about the time my friend had told me about the show. And I was like, hey, why not watch it? And I became absolutely hooked after the first episode. Easily. And, I really fell in love with that show, just Sherlock and Watson relationship as friends, and the mysteries and his deductions, and I just fell in love with the world of Sherlock, especially how it is more modern day than the older style. I thought that was a really cool change. And then my second show is Doctor Who, and I started watching Doctor Who earlier this year. Because everyone I knew was like, Doctor Who, you gotta watch it. So I started watching it, or before that, like 2 years before that, I just saw Doctor Who on Netflix, and I was like, I've heard of this. So I watched the first episode, and I was utterly bored out of my mind. I was like, ew, no, I'm not watching this show. Couldn't get through the second episode, left it, came back to it 2 years later, this year, and I started watching Doctor Who, and at first I was like, but I persisted. And I probably really fell in love with the show after the episode Blink. I loved all the episodes leading up to it, for sure. But after Blink, I was like, this is good. And of course, 10. Such a great doctor, David Tennant. Oh, I'm so sad that he was gone, especially how he left. But then 11 came, and okay, to be honest, it took me like most of the 5th season for me to like 11, but now I cannot imagine anyone like 11 and 10 are totally tied. I love, well, both of them are pretty quirky, but 11 especially, with everything's cool, and Fez's, and his relationships with Amy and River and Rory and all of his companions were so great. And the storyline written by Stephen Moffat, I love all of Moffat's episodes, even though they tear my heart to pieces. But Doctor Who, and then now I'm on to 12. I'm not completely caught up with the show, but I'm on 12 now, and I didn't actually think I'd like 12 that much, just because I'd heard a lot of like, he's just a grumpy old man or whatever. But I like 12 a lot. I think he's kind of a different personality for the Doctor, because the last 10 and 11 were very, I don't know, they seem more like jokey, and like 12 is kind of jokey, but he's more like hard to explain. And then my third show, which is probably the first show I was totally obsessed with, is Once Upon a Time. And now I think I still keep Once Upon a Time in my top 1 because I love the show so much. I think like the first 3 seasons of the show are really strong, and even afterwards there's like strong points to the show, but I found like in the last season and maybe even the season before, it kind of started spiraling downhill because I don't know, because before it just seemed a lot more real, with like real world issues, but now it's kind of just like dragon fighting storybook, and I love that so much. That it's part of why I love the show in the first place. It just seems maybe a bit repetitive. Don't hate me, I love the show so much still, but I'm really hoping that now with season 6, how they've opened it up with all these new characters, it will, I don't want to say redeem itself, but some of the stories will be a bit better, especially in the season finale of season 5. It was so cheesy with Henry in New York, and he's like, believe, everyone, believe. And then they were all saved. I was just like, and Hades' hair. If you've watched this, please comment below and tell me what you think about Hades' hair, because I felt that it could be the most emotional, like on the edge of your seat, scary, like Hades evoking fear into the watcher, and then he turned on his hair, which was supposed to add something, but instead it would take me from to, oh my goodness, why? Honestly, like, I'll insert a clip. I don't even, like, what is that? I just didn't like it. You know, Disney's version of Hercules? It was cool then. Here, not so much. It was really painful. Okay, so now for my level 2 shows. They're shows that I still watch. I don't watch them live, probably because 2 of them don't air anymore. But they are Gilmore Girls, Bones, and Friends. So actually, I think all of these shows were introduced to me by my mom. She's got good Netflix taste, it seems. Gilmore Girls it's a really good show. I like a lot of the banter, especially like Lorelai's banter, and that it really made Gilmore Girls a great show. And I didn't finish it because I was a little too mad about the whole Luke and Lorelai thing, which, spoiler, them breaking up over his daughter. Ugh, just no. So, and then my mom kind of told me some stuff that happens later on, and I was like, you know what? So maybe I'll go back and watch. I rewatch episodes occasionally because I enjoy the show so much. But yeah, that kind of just ruined the ending for me. I couldn't. But I recommended it to a friend. She loved it. I have some other friends that have started watching it. They like the show a lot. It's a good show. Next show is Friends. I kind of watched it like off and on, but then just recently I really got into it. And I like went from like season 3 to season 6 in like a week or 2. But then I don't know. I just haven't been really into it. In the past couple days, I've been getting back onto Doctor Who because apparently Netflix is gonna take it off on September 15th. I don't know if this is true, but that's what my Netflix was saying, and I was like, I gotta finish Doctor Who. And then my third show is Bones, and I just love the whole murder mystery, and I know it used to be really scary, but now I'm just kind of like, hey, why not? So if you're one of those people that don't like it when people watch shows in the wrong order, don't hate me. But I was just like, my mom was watching it in the kitchen or something, and I was like, started watching it too, and I was like, oh, this is so good, Bones. So then I started watching it on my own, and then I watched all of season 10, and I watched season 9, season 8, in down order. So I think I made it to season 5. But yeah, I just watched it backwards for some reason, because I just really liked it more in the newer episodes. Maybe it's because it was like less dark or something, but I watched the first episode of the series, and it didn't really hook me. Maybe because like sometimes first episodes aren't the greatest, sometimes they are, it depends. But yeah, so I didn't like totally fall in love with it there, but I love, like, Brennan is so great. She's such a she's so smart, but like funny and bad with people, and then her relationship with Booth is so great, and Hodgins. It's just great when I just love that relationship. Like, Bones is a really good show, and you don't really need to watch them in order necessarily. Definitely recommend watching Bones if you're into the whole murder mystery kind of thing. Now for my honorable mentions. There's shows that the first show I do follow, it's just on hiatus right now, but September is coming, and with it, the start of new seasons of shows, and the first show, which is part of my honorable mentions, is The Flash. Now, The Flash is a really good show in my opinion. It's the only like superhero show that I like stick with it. I've never watched like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or I tried to start watching DC Legends of Tomorrow, but then I missed an episode and just stopped watching it. But The Flash I've stuck with probably because both my brother and dad watch it, so I didn't want to be left out when they're watching the episode. I gotta get in there and watch. But now there's been like a real big turn of events in my opinion at the end of the second season, I think it just was. So I am scared to see what happens in this season, how the writers are going to work with this event that happened. I don't want to spoil in case you do watch it or plan on watching it, but that should be interesting. I feel like it could go really well or really bad. I know when it happened I kind of like inwardly groaned because it messed with like everything that had ever happened. And then Full House. So Full House, I haven't watched every episode. I don't think I made it to like, so Netflix had up to season 3 I think, so I watched all of that, but then it didn't have season 4, and by the time season 4 was on there I hadn't been watching for a very long time, so I wasn't very like into it as I would have been if it had been on at the time. So I just started watching like sporadic episodes, like episode from season 4 here, episode from season 6 there, kind of thing. And then they came out with Fuller House, and I didn't finish it. I was disappointed, sad. I know some people probably really loved it, but I just didn't, it just wasn't for me. I liked the girls when they were younger, maybe, that's what it was. I just, I didn't really like Fuller House that much. And I was so excited before, I was like, oh my goodness, we're doing a revival, this is gonna be so great. But I just was disappointed. Maybe I set my hopes too high, because that happens sometimes, and it's really sad. So I think that's all the TV shows I watch. And oh my goodness, who has seen the trailer for Sherlock? And it's coming out in January, and I'm so excited. I'm so sad, because some stuff is gonna go down. I think that's everything. Please comment, like, subscribe. Look out for Megan's video on Friday. Bye! Working at the car wash. Ooh.